Welcome to the Fresh Four. For this episode, we will refresh our knowledge on the current situation with the Epstein files, specifically recapping what the files entail and the most recent events surrounding them. I'll hand it off to you, Miles.
Thanks, Ben. To start us off, the Epstein files are a collection of documents, images, and videos that are related to the investigation into Jeffrey Epstien, a ringleader of one of the most notorious sex trafficking schemes of all time. The recent news surrounding Epstein is that the former Prince Andrew Mountbatten Windsor was recently arrested in the UK on charges concerning national security and suspicion of misconduct.
For some background, Jeffrey Epstein was an extremely influential and wealthy man. He had connections to very powerful people. He ran a human trafficking ring from the early 2000s through 2018. He was arrested on July 6th in 2018 and died about a month later in August, supposedly by suicide. Do you guys think he really committed suicide?
No. So, in the Epstein files, there is a testimony from a prison guard at the prison he was at that said that while prisoners are released sometimes, they are never released on Saturday, although a car came to release Epstein on a Saturday. They then showed orders that he was supposed to be released, and then he was brought out, and then another person was put in that cell and supposedly was given rope. Then that person was found in the morning hung. So what I think is that Epstein is still out there, and that he is. My two top options stem from either Tupac's aunt, because she went to Cuba.
Okay.
Oh my God.
All right. Well, I think that.
Hold on. Let me kill it. So he could either be in Israel because he is Jewish. That would be a good place for him to hide out if the government let him out, but didn't want him to be public.
But at the exact same time, when you realize that Epstein had a lot of connections, there's a lot of big and powerful names mentioned in the file, so there is possible, but that those kind of people wanted to remove him because he had stuff on them.
Powerful connections. One of his very good friends was former Prince Andrew. Epstein and Andrew met in 1999, and their friendship persisted on for years, being photographed in 2010. People accused him of assault for years, beginning in 2015. Recently, due to his association with Epstein, he had his royal title stripped from him as he was removed from the royal family. He still denies all the accusations of wrongdoing. Do we think that he might have taken part in Epstein's crimes?
Of course, bro. I mean, come on.
He was in the files.
Bro. If you're in the files, you did it unless you're Pusha T.
I think, I didn't really look into what he did specifically or what it says he did. But I feel like if they went to the limit, not the limit, but like if they went to the extent to arrest him, he has to have done something.
But they didn't arrest him for the crimes that he would have committed on that island. They didn't arrest him for anything related to a sex crime.
What about them stripping away his royal titles?
I think that was just like a warning. Like if we hear about you doing something again, like if there more comes out, like you'll be fried. Because it's sort of the thing with Trump. He has presidential immunity, which sort of protects him. He made that law recently, so he has immunity.
Oh, he just made it?
Yeah.
I did not know.
No, that at the beginning of his term, he's like, yeah, guys, we should give president's immunity.
That's crazy.
He can't get arrested or
he gave himself presidential immunity, and
He
then
for sure knew this was finna happen.
That's why the whole thing with Maduro. That's why the whole thing with Maduro was so complicated, they had to claim that he wasn't the rightful president for them to prosecute him, because if he was a president, then he would have immunity.
I see.
But he's not a president of America.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It's a president. It's presidential immunity universally. If you're a president, you get immunity.
I see. Okay.
So is that just a U.S. law? Is that like a world's law?
It's our law. So if we're gonna prosecute someone and they're a president of some place, we can't prosecute. That's why he was saying he's not the rightful leader, even though technically, I mean, he did steal the election. He stayed in power even though he lost.
I see. That's very interesting perspective you've given there, Ben. I like that connection.
We know that recently Prince Andrew was arrested due to new information released in the Epstein files. And early Thursday morning, his estate was surrounded by the police. A British royal has not been detained since King Charles I in 1649. Okay, so do you think that Andrew's arrest might mean that he definitely partook in Epstein's crimes?
Yeah,
I think it's pretty Yeah, I think so.
It's
Because-
pretty significant that no one's been arrested since 1649 in the royal family, and I feel like they wouldn't go to such lengths unless he for sure did that.
300 and a half decades.
Yeah,
I mean centuries.
that's
3.5
actually.
centuries is a very, very big.
300 centuries and 50 decades.
I think you're really, really wrong.
Why might
Me?
Yeah, it's 3 centuries. 300 centuries would be 3,000.
the logistics?
Oh,
don't
you know
matter.
what I mean.
Why don't we
Every
think
30,000
300
years, 300 years.
Why might have people in? I haven't seen. This is the only person I've ever seen so far being arrested for like being in the Epstein files that they just released. Why do we think that people in the U.S. haven't been arrested yet?
Because they're very powerful and rich, and it's like it'd be like pretty devastating to a lot of people, and create a lot of distrust. It would be like very apocalyptic and invoking like mentally. If you're thinking like all these rich, powerful people who you might trust and own like companies that you use all the time are tied up in this, it would make you very, very nervous and like you wonder, well, who else is like against me? Who else is doing this sort of thing?
That's true.
It causes a mass panic. Also, these people are in power and they don't want to arrest themselves.
That's a great point, Ben. And that's the end of the Forever 4 podcast. Thank you and goodbye.